Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about YieldMax. They are a fund manager that has been getting a lot of attention lately with a release of their new ETFs. Here are a couple examples of some of the most popular ones that they have so far. I think TSLY is actually probably the ETF that has the biggest assets under management, but please do your research because the yields that these ETFs are producing right now are pretty crazy. A 30-day SEC yield. These yields are very high. And the fact that these ETFs are so new, it's really hard to see what the performance is going to continually be like over the long term. So just be cautious with that. This is obviously not investment advice, not financial professional here. But just kind of wanted to briefly talk about what their strategy is and just kind of show you some of the different tickers that they're trying to, actually these 7 are already released, but there are some more in the pipeline. Depending on how well these go, will probably determine the future of the other funds that are going to try to push out too. But let's just look at TSLY here. So it's YieldMax, that's the fund manager. There's a couple other fund managers underneath of it, so I don't know if they just partnered up to establish YieldMax. But you can see here the distribution rate's 65%, 30-day yield of 3.9%. Their fund objective is monthly income, as well as some participation in the growth of the underlying ETF or underlying stock in this case. But however, they are selling covered calls. So some of your games might be capped as similar to, some other covered call ETFs. Now all YieldMax ETFs have an expense ratio of 0.99%. There is a lot of effort that goes into selling options. So I think that is definitely understandable with the fee there. Scrolling down a little bit right here, 421 million assets under management. So that's going to continually grow as it gets more popular. So these are some of the performances so far. And then some of the distributions that it's paid out each month. So look at the holdings. Looking through their documentation, they are required to maintain this position. It looks like it's at 50%, a little bit more than 50%. So pretty high allocation to treasuries. Then they also have a call option here. Looks like this is expiring September 15th. They have another call option, another call option, another call option, another call option, and then a put option. So their strategy, it's a synthetic covered call, so it's involving selling puts and selling calls. It's a little bit more advanced and something that I'm going to definitely do some more research on. But it's the combination of those two, right? So they're selling puts and they're selling covered calls. I believe the purpose of this is to get capital. They're also buying some as well. Yeah, so you can see they have 17,000 that they bought, and then they also the minus is the ones that they've also sold. So pretty interesting strategy there. You can see it's available to buy on multiple platforms, so that's pretty cool. Let's look at what the summary. Yeah, so a 0.99% management fee for all their ETFs. So just to keep it simple, I think, kind of what I was talking about. They have a synthetic covered call strategy, something that I'm still trying to learn a little bit more about. But typically with a covered call, right? So you have to buy 100 shares, and then you could sell a covered call. But I think what they're trying to do here is actually buy like a call option, and then kind of like a poor man's covered call, right? So like you buy a call option, and then that gives you the right to sell a call option. So yeah, feel free to come read this for yourself as well. I'm not as versed in it yet, so I don't want to go through and act like I know exactly what all they're doing, but it's definitely an interesting strategy here. And yeah, like I mentioned, their objective is to produce income, produce it on a monthly basis, as well as give their investors some exposure to the growth of the underlying investment as well. So a lot of documentation in here, so feel free to come check this out. I'll go back here now. Yeah, so coming back to the site, yeah, so they have 7 actively. I don't know if I mentioned that already. They have 7, but there are some other ones that they're going to try to add as well, probably depending on how well these do. But definitely keep an eye out for those other ones. Some of the other ones, let me see, I just wrote some of those other ones include down here at the bottom. Yeah, so Baba, Airbnb, PayPal, Disney, JP Morgan. So here are some of the other ones that I don't think these are live yet, but they're hoping to get to that point at some point. So keep an eye out for those. 7, they already have 7 actively ones. NVDY, Tesla, Kathy Wood's Innovation, ARKK, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook. And I'm sure they're going to continue to try to roll out more. I think I actually saw one talking about Netflix. I don't know if that was listed down here at the bottom or not, but that is another one they're going to try to focus on. So yeah, if you ever wanted to, sell covered calls on some of these bigger tickers and you didn't want to, manage it yourself, this could be a good ETF for you. Obviously I don't know your certain situation, your risk tolerance, so that's something you're going to have to figure out yourself. But let's look to see what it's done so far year to date. 61%. So that's looks like it's actually dropped a little bit. But yeah, so it is, so far it seems to be performing pretty well. Obviously Tesla itself is up much more than 61%. So if you would have just invested into Tesla, I don't know if Yahoo Finance shows, but I think they're up over 100%. What is Tesla up year to date? Year to date, yeah, 99%. TSLY. Year to date, up 11%. So you definitely are leaving money on the table, but that's what you get when you invest into income ETFs. So that's just something you have to understand and make sure you're okay with. But yeah, guys, go check them out. YieldMax. Like I mentioned, they are a new, relatively new from my understanding. They just released this one in 2022, so last year. So definitely go check them out. Let me know what you guys think down below, and stay tuned. We're going to try to, get back on a consistent schedule with posting videos. We've been out of the office for a little bit, but we should have some more time to start posting some more content. So stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe down below. It helps out the channel a lot, and stay tuned for the next time.